everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, a lot of people were asking on my tutorial video, or not tutorial, but kind of like Minecraft short video, how do I build a house like this? And this was specifically on the Tundra build, so I'm just going to kind of take you all through like kind of my designing process of what goes on in my head. So, let's start out. First of all, you want a nice flat terrain area to work with. Why do you want nice flat terrain? Because, well, nice flat terrain offers so much to work on. So much. Next, color combination. Usually with a Tundra build, you're gonna want to go for natural resources, so cobblestone, andesite, stone, especially spruce wood, oak wood, and possibly even the stripped planks, but these are also really nice, so you wouldn't find these out just from trees. You get the regular spruce, but strip them, I guess. And same with these, I guess, you know, you wouldn't really find those, but yeah. Anyway, so these are pretty much the base blocks that you're going to be using, and also along with everyone's favorite, I assume, is just some spruce trapdoors, because those make everything look very nice, and some spruce doors, but also fences. Now that we've got our palette here, we can start and make the structure and the foundation of our building. So, in order to start the building, what I like to do is I like to start out with a simple little area like this. So, just with one block right now, just kind of move up with it. We're going to change the texture of it in a little bit, but this may be a little bit too high, but this is just one of the supporting areas. So, and then you can make adjustments to the height as you go on, but right now I'm just going to kind of keep it like this until I decide to remove it. Once you are satisfied with your pillar, you are then going to go over a certain amount of blocks. Usually I like to keep it odd for windows specifically, so anything like 3, 5, 7. So this is 4, 5, and then usually I'd be like, alright, 5's pretty nice, but I'm going to go with 7 for this one. Maybe a little bit daring. So then this is our centerpiece right here, so keep that marked with something like a piece of cobblestone or something that's a little bit more different than the other block. But another thing that you're probably going to want to do is you're going to want to replace this with another natural material like the andesite stone or the cobblestone. So we'll actually take this up here because we do kind of want not a foundation, but like kind of what is it called? There's some word that it's called for this, but it's like kind of like a lining outside of the house. And that's just kind of what's going to keep all your stuff in there. So now that we have that marked, we're going to want to make another pillar. This one's going to actually be taller, and this one I will actually do some weird design with it. So we'll say we'll have it like that. This is going to be this is actually a really tall house. Maybe we'll lower it down a little bit. And then, you know, just place in your normal stuff, your stone, your cobblestone. Your cobblestone gives it the most texture. Your stone makes it a little bit flat. And your andesite gives it a little bit more texture also. And then since we went a little bit too overboard on this height, we will trim it down a little bit to about here. And this is kind of your little starting area for it. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over to here, and you're going to want to make another little bit over here. So this one, you can see that there is an even point right here. We have enough room for a full window if we so chose. But if we wanted to, we can add 2 more, and then we have more room for a window right here, which is pretty much what we want. So we'll keep it like that, mark off our center point here, and then with some extra steps, set our time to day, and move up to a little bit higher than this. So about like that. And then you kind of just have the basic layout of your house done right now. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start the walls here. So with the walls, you just kind of go off like this. 3 high looks pretty good. 2 high looks alright. Sometimes you will want to go with 2 high walls, because if we want to put a balcony right here, you may want to go with 2 high. But most of the time 3 high works pretty well on these builds. However, for the sake of this video, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of raise this area up a little bit. So we're actually going to split these windows into 2. So that means that we can punch out this top bit here and mark those in there. So what this will allow us to do is we will be able to take grass and kind of terraform a little bit around here, making a little bit of a garden in a way. So now that we have that, we have our center bit here, and then our ending points. So now I guess we're just going to kind of come around it. We can make this house thin, thick, whatever we so choose. I'm personally probably going to make it a little bit on the thinner side, so I might go out 2 more, just like that. So then our middle point is right here, and then we just kind of go around like this. And then on the inside bit here, we connect them up. And then connect them with whatever block you so want to place it with. When you get over here, you're going to want to do the same thing that you did on the front side over there. Making that kind of structural gray pillar piece here. And then same on the side over here. Just like that. So now you've pretty much got the basic frame of your house done. Now it's just putting in all of your wood. Now it also may be helpful if you placed in another bit right here, where you can kind of divide off your top piece of your home. Just something like this, so that you have a back area to work with also. Just like that. Fill in these little dirt patches too. A lot of people don't do that, and it really just doesn't make the house look stable. And here we go, we got a little bit of a structure to this. So this is the first part of your home here. Now we're going to build up the side of one home using slabs only. So we're going to go with the same palette as the walls here. And we're just going to kind of loop over the edges here. And then we're going to start going up. Just like this. A nice steady incline. Now these are actually too short now, so we might have to increase the size of those. Just like this, and then since we can, we're actually going to increase the size of these so that we can fit more blocks onto them. So we're going to go 3, 2, some stone, and then cobblestone. And then, of course, a little cobblestone crown at the top. Just like that, we have some more pillars, and then we're going to want to connect them up to this pillar here. So now you have one part of your home. Next thing that you want to do is you're just going to fill in the area. But don't fill it in all the way unless you want to. For this, I'm actually going to add a dormer to it. If you don't know what a dormer is, just imagine on a colonial style home with those little rooms up at the top on the roofs, where it's got those little windows in them. Those are dormers. So we're actually going to make one kind of central to this, but we can also separate it based on like halfway here, so you get 1 and 2 dormers here. But we're going to do one that's central, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring these over at an even way. So we're just going to bring it over 3 here, and 3 here. And this is going to be the area for our dormer, so we're going to actually use the stripped wood. Build up a little bit here, go back, build up, go back, build up, and build up once again. And this might be a little bit too high here, so if you feel like it's a little too high, don't worry, you can always just shave it down. And even if that's a little too high for you, no worries. So then, we're just going to start like this, and you can go up on it. Just like that. And then we'll add in the bits right here for the roof. Bring that over. And start going down to about here, where we then cover it like that. You can then grab some glass and place that right there, and then you have finished your little dormer bit to this. There are also different types of dormers that you can make with this. Obviously this probably isn't the best one that you've ever seen, but there are some. I mean, this one looks like really clunky. It's not really the best thing that you've ever seen. You can kind of even it out by doing this, making it look a little bit more like it was built into the roof with intended purpose, as opposed to just being kind of slapped there. where it just kind of makes it flow a little bit better. But there are also some that you can make with a straight roof, that you can make with a curved upward roof. There are just a whole ton of other ones that you can make. Just be creative, and I'm pretty positive that you can find a way that you like with these. So now on this side over here, we're actually going to start kind of a little staircase that goes up. So we're going to grab our stairs, and we're going to go to the end over here. And then we're going to start pillaring up these. And this one you will notice is actually going to be taller than the slabs bit. That's intended, as it's going to be kind of like, what are these called, like salt box houses or something like that? I don't really know. It's been a long time since I've been in my construction classes. And then just build up a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit until you have heads sticking out. So kind of like this. Now it looks very, very tall, but I promise you it will look better and less plain. So now you're just going to cover those over on this side and go up. You can then finish the pillaring tower over here by matching that up to size. Then you have the structure right here. We are then going to fill in this roof, but we might leave a little space for a dormer up top. So let's set our time today again. Fill in this area right here also. Now for this one, we're actually going to have an offset dormer now that I think about it. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to have a dormer kind of near the front of this home. So we're going to start building over like this. And moving it closer towards this end here. Now this is also a pretty large area for a dormer, so we're gonna bring the roof down a little bit with the stairs so that we can have a nice area to locate and place the dormer here. So about this size, and then bring over the wood. So this seems like a decent size for it. If we test here, you can test around with how you feel and how it would look. So let's say if I put it like this and I had it going like that, I'd say, oh, this is a good sized dormer here. I like it. Great, now that I like it, I can start by doing the roof of it. And then adding a curve here so that we can continue onward with our stair placement. And then just to be sure it does not look weird, we can head off to the side. And then we'll say, hey, maybe it doesn't look too weird. And then fill in the area so that there are no open gaps with it. Except for this one, you probably don't want to go on the actual side of the building. So put those ones that you remove back in and fix up your roof a little bit. But you're going to want to go on the inside ones and take these out and replace them with solid blocks. Just like that. To where you cannot see from the outside here. Just like that. And then all you're going to want to do is go up and fill in the rest of this area here. Take your wood and move upward. And then fill this area in here. And then you have another dormer here. And this one's very chunky. It may look a little bit weird here, But I'm just kind of showing you the stuff that you can do with these. And then place your glass. Second dormer, set and done. Now up here, we're going to actually keep in these. So place the stone there. And actually, just because we might make it a little bit poking out like this. To where it's kind of like looking like it's been built on these and it needs them for support. Like it's built around these. So build something kind of like that. We can then copy the design over to this side, even though it might be a little bit difficult seeing as the dormer is here. But nonetheless, we can copy it over to that side. And same with over here. Just placing it. And there you go. You can also vary the heights with slabs. Let me actually get that. So slabs, we'll just use some cobblestone slabs as of right now. And just kind of stagger the heights a little bit. Just kind of simple stuff like this. Makes it look a little bit more out there. Like it's more natural looking. And you kind of end up with something like this. So now we're actually going to kind of position a front door. And since we made it to, we can either do this, where we have a little area for that, and then we can make a door right here with kind of a small porch on the side here. Just like that. And then we can have our fences leading off into the snow right there. And there you go, you got a porch. You then just are going to fill in your roof, or not, sorry, not your roof, your wall here. Have it lead up to the roof. And same with the inner bit of this wall here. You're actually going to remove these stairs unless you want to keep them there. And you're just going to go like that. As for this area, you're just going to place some wooden blocks there. And you can fill in this area. Or you can break out a small area for windows. Usually I do something like this for that, but with the awkward size, maybe you'd want something different. But there's always a workaround for whatever you so choose to do. Like this. And then you can add your glass, if I didn't lose it. Just like that. Heading over to here, we're going to also build up this wall. And with this one, it's going to be a little bit difficult because slabs, but don't worry, don't let the half height fear you or cause you fear. You just place the slabs in like that. And then this is where you can kind of get creative with your windows here. Because you can have them kind of go up like this and no one can really question you because of the house itself. And it's also nice to bring in something like this where it kind of separates window and adds a little bit of depth to your building. So something like that can add a little bit of depth. Usually you'll want to keep it to one side. So if I wanted to keep it on the top, I would keep it on the top. If I wanted to keep it on the bottom, I'd put it on the bottom. As for this area, you're also going to place in your windows here. Does not matter where. You can place them anywhere. Something kind of like this, but I was proposing the idea of a balcony. So going a little bit different from the last house, I'm actually going to add some supports right here and loop those around this area where I'm then going to connect it here and build my deck in it here. And then using trapdoors, we can create this little deck here that hangs off the side. Just like that. And then break these when you're finished. And complete the end on this side. You can also do it for over here if you really want to. Just makes the deck look a little bit more out there. And then you have a small deck on the top here with a small little porch area at the entrance. You'll then decide your doorway, which will be here, we'll say. And then you can build this up with anything you so choose. And then we will put our glass right here. And then just because we can, we'll have a little area up here for a window. So now fill in your windows here, because obviously you want glass. And now we're left with this area. So what I'll sometimes do is I'll make support beams like this, where it looks like it's being kind of held up. And since the way that we had it odd, we can make it somewhat like this. These ones you don't really need inner support beams, you just kind of need the outer ones. And another reason for that is they're a little bit difficult to place, but with scaffolding you can get it. Now we can actually make the house look good, and how we are going to do that is adding foliage around the building. Let's set our time to day once again, and we're going to make these kind of little planter boxes here. So what these planter boxes are going to do is they're going to kind of just make this place look a whole lot better. That's exactly what they do, as a matter of fact. So place that there. We'll grab our leaves. We will throw these away. We'll grab some grass and some tall grass. Usually I don't use tall grass in a build, but with the Tundra theme it does work very well. So we'll have kind of these little planter boxes here, and then we'll make other ones up here and up here. And then with the staggered height, it actually allows us to be able to place these in with no difficulty whatsoever. You get kind of nice planter boxes that look like this, which is very nice. As for the ones up here, you don't need a planter box in this area, but if you really want one, you can add one. It may be a little bit difficult with the door, but you can probably manage something in here, just like that. Over on this end, usually I'd keep it blank and then add leaves around in this area, but we didn't finish the back of this, but it's pretty much the exact same as the front. Just add in all of this, make it go all the way up, except this end is not going to have a porch to it. Instead, it's going to be flat as it's the back of the home. Now that your windows are placed in, you then will grab your grass or your dirt, and you'll just place the areas up like that. And then build in a little bit like that. Add in your trap doors to make the planter boxes, just like that. And go around. Place in your desired block of choice, which can be any flower or foliage. And then do the same on this end here with the foliage. So now you can definitely see that the house is starting to look a little bit better just from adding that little bit of foliage around it. So next what we're going to do is we're actually going to take spruce leaves. As in a winter build like this, spruce leaves are the native leaf. And we're going to kind of go around the house like this. And you can get in the little areas back here. You can make them go all through the area. You can make them touch the ground. Go like that. can have them wrap around this. It just kind of creates a little bit of an aging effect towards the building itself, and just kind of makes it more immersed in with the actual, biome itself, as opposed to just standing out completely and entirely. Now, you don't want to break those. I have a problem with my mouse where it double clicks as opposed to right clicking, so I need a new mouse, but I am not going to get that. And then just add areas like this all around. You can have them come out to the back here, have them kind of creep up around, have them droop down a little bit. Just do whatever your heart desires with these leaves. And then they can go up to the top here. And then you obviously don't want to neglect the area down here, especially since it is open space. So never leave too much open space with these buildings. Have them connected to nature in some way. It just makes it look a little bit better. And then have it wrap around the area here. We don't want that. Get back on here. And then wrap it around to the top over here. So now you can see that the house just looks a lot better with this area over here. Now, we'll actually add a front door into this place. So get your slabs out or your full blocks. Get your door out. And get its trapdoor counterpart. For this, I'm using spruce. You're going to place it like that, and then you're going to open your trapdoors in like this. Very nice. And then you're just going to plop your window there. And there you go. You've got pretty much the bare bones of the house like this. You can also place in the leaves going around this bit right here, as it'll make it just look a little bit nicer, more immersed into nature, like that. You don't necessarily have to overdo it with the leaves, but the leaves do add a good piece to it. Now another thing that we're going to do is a campfire up here to make it look kind of like a chimney is going up. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to replace that. And on the area that does not have a dormer, or we could do it on the dormer too, but pick a side, and we're just going to go in like this and place a small bit of a chimney here. So kind of like this, make it go up a little bit. It doesn't have to be this thick as a matter of fact, but if you want it to, it can. And then you'll just kind of have it go up to a certain point, which then you're going to add some trapdoors around it, preferably ones that don't allow light to pass through, so that you can't see that the campfire is in there. And then there you go, you've got that. So then little things that you can do are just adding in wooden beams just across here, making it look like the building has a little bit more texture to it. So usually I'll do this technique if I have kind of like a lot of empty space or something. I'll just kind of add beams like this across it. And this just makes it look like it's got a lot more texture and a lot more to look at, as opposed to having nothing at all up top. So just adding this, you will see a big difference in how this thing actually looks, just from these couple of wooden posts that I'm putting in. Around here, and around here. Not all houses start off beautiful. It takes a little bit of time. So as you can see, that's already a large improvement that we've made. And another one that you can make, as long as you're not by the windows here, where it's on these connecting blocks, which will make the windows kind of weird looking, you can go ahead and you can place stairs like this to make the house have a more worn feel, like it's being broken down, or more that like you use different sized pieces of wood to build it, as you actually did come out into nature and build it. Now the reason we don't use it on windows in this piece is because it looks really weird. So preferably stay away from windows when you're dealing with that, and instead kind of just make them go around like that. And I'm going to replace that there. So put it like this, and like that. Let's go time set day one more time. And get a couple more texture window areas into here. Can have a little one down here. And then on this side also. Just like this. And as you can see, it just adds a lot more character to the house. Makes it look like, oh wow, somebody may have actually lived here. And then don't neglect the sides that you think people won't see. The more pain in the ass areas to reach. Because you will regret it. I promise you, you will. So, take the extra effort of time. Go over them. Don't neglect them. And then you have a house that has been struck out in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of a barren land. You can make a cool little fire area out top. Out over here. Just clear a little bit of snow around here really quick. So say, oh, I want a campfire right here. And then I can have maybe a nice bench that goes around. You can have a nice bench then, made with the spruce trap doors here. You can wrap those around and have them go like this. And there you go, you've got some nice spruce trapdoor areas here. Grab your shovel, make a couple paddle blocks around here, make it look fairly nice. And then don't forget, you don't want any visible dirt underneath any of these. Then just because you have the power to, go right ahead, add some grass, add some bone meal, add some flowers. Roses actually look fairly nice around in this area. So add some roses around here. Very nice, very cozy. Looks good. And then lighting it up, just use lanterns. Usually those look the best with houses that are like this. So we'll just come in here, place a lantern on both ends there. And there you have it. Here is a house that was built in a similar style to my winter building of the, the house that I did in the short. So I hope this tutorial helped you out a little bit. Hopefully you can build houses that are kind of similar like this. This wasn't supposed to be a direct tutorial where I tell you, build this for a certain amount of blocks, build up a certain amount. This is more, let your mind run free. These are just kind of little basic tips that I can offer to help you build this building. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.